Thanks for tuning in to Monster Mashup. My first encounter with Mametchi was on a run with a P1 forever ago. We only had the American art at the time, and I think I preferred Kuchipachi as he was more recognizable. At some point the switch flipped, and I became a Mametchi fanboy to the point that I even named a 3D pet after him. Let's look at every Mametchi I've gotten up to this point. P1. This was my first run on my Mametchi spaceship shell. It's basically a breeze after you get the discipline checks as a teenager, but you really don't want to get any care mistakes and need to leave the volume on. If you're running an old school P1, you only need to hit 4 discipline checks, but on newer reissue units, you'll have about 7 attention beeps per stage, and you'll need to hit those regardless of what the meter says. You have about a week to hit the adult stage, so it is the longest grind to my knowledge. Much like Fat Pikachu, Pudgster Mametchi is nothing short of iconic. Pac-Man Nano. This Mametchi was super easy in my opinion. I just paid a good amount of attention to the device and it only took a few days. Spam the games and get some perfect scores and you'll get the not so secret form as well. I love Mametchi's face as he runs from the ghosts and how happy he looks riding Pac-Man. Game Boy. I love this Game Boy game. It's so solid, including all the P1 mechanics with additional stats and the P1 and P2 roster. Care on this game is tricky unless you read a bunch of stuff outside the game. There are 2 hidden stats you need to use a code to unlock to even see, which are the primary indicator of how your Tamas evolve. You can make no traditional care mistakes and still miss Mametchi, so I'd say this is probably one of the hardest ones to get. The sprites are quite a bit more developed than the P1, despite being released around the same time. I think that they did a really good job with the animations in general on this one. Uni. To keep things interesting, I only did the care requirements to get Mametchi on the Uni. If you watched any of the animations floating around out there, you'll notice a lot of similarities to this design. I had to make sure that he liked the science tools to stay on theme. I feel like he looks really good with any of the accessories, so go nuts with the customization. I did miss some of the challenge getting this one, but I think it looks great. Angel, Monster, and Sanrio. I'm going to lump all these into the category of Uni DLC Mametchi. I'll get this out of the way, but all of these are ridiculously easy to get. You just need to feed the correct item as any teen and you are guaranteed to get them. Visually, I think Mama Kitty has so much going on that it's hard to pick good accessories, but that might just be me. Mamael is from the Angel DLC. It looks cool and I kept him a day or 2 longer than I thought I would because it was fun to watch. Mamagon looks awesome. Wasn't sure about the fuzzy look, but it grew on me pretty quickly. I really like the DLC content as a whole, and it's a great selling point for the Uni. I'm not sure if these count, but let's gloss over some of the weird ones. Tamagotchi board game. One of the growth charts is Mametchi. All the growth charts are identical here, so I don't really count this one. Mario Kart Arcade GP2. Mametchi is playable, and I've beaten some randoms with him in the arcade, so I'll count this one. The reason we see Mametchi here is Bandai helped with the game. Stat-wise, he's a light character like Toad and Peach. He's got a cool Thomas Shell car and some themed items as well. This is the least common variant of this arcade as the GP2 upgrade kit did not add much over the first one, and the GPTX upgrade added a lot more, so it's about the only one you see anymore. While not lost media per se, if you see a GP2 cabinet in the wild, take a pic for me. This one doesn't really count either, but on the Tamagotchi candy shells, they had a Mametchi sticker as an option, so I mean, it kind of looks like one, so we'll give ourselves like a 1/4 of a point here. I'll definitely be making a part 2 to this one as I get some more devices and I am able to gather more Mametchis. If you enjoyed the content and you aren't subbed, consider doing it, and thanks for watching.